Ain't nobody used to give a damn. Yeah, I had to go and make a different plan. Yeah, guess who didn't get included? Even though you made me better, yo, I strictly do it for the fam.
And we are back now with part 3, guys. Did you miss us? No? Go fuck yourselves. As you can see, Aaron is back with us. Give it up for Hubs for joining us for part 3.
Oh, is that my cue?
Yes, it's your cue. God damn.
Sorry, I was trying to pick these little things off my. You ever get the itchy feeling down below and it's... Oh.
Oh god, he's got crabs.
Ah, damn it.
Shit.
Well,
at least it's not
I'll get the Lysol.
That shit'll follow you.
Well, while we're getting Lysol for Hubs, we got 2 discussion topics for you guys today. One, I'm not going to say where the source comes from because I'm not going to cover that kind of shit today, about the mystery that is white privilege.
Oh boy.
And the second topic, because I'm a bit salty, is over the pre-release details about the PlayStation 5.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
I'm interested in that.
But first thing is first, before we get into the fun, let's go serious. So, again, I'm not going to go over the full-blown story behind why this topic came up. But needless to say, though, it's divulged into a thing about the mysterious quantum reality that is white privilege. Hubs, would you like to share with everyone this whole phenomenon of white privilege to those that don't understand?
All right. So, I am white. I'm as white as you can get. I am German, Irish, and Norwegian. You can't get much whiter than that. Jenny's a gypsy. She self-proclaimed. We don't know. You have to do the DNA test. Of course, I'd have to do the DNA test, too, to find out just exactly what percentages of Scandinavian, European, and you know, European. There's a joke in there. Anyway.
Somewhere. I didn't hear it. I'm kidding. Anyway.
Anyway. I'm about as white as you can get. And there seems to be this question, nowadays especially, of white privilege. Does it exist? Doesn't it exist? Well, I'm here to tell you it kind of does exist. I grew up in a suburban family. I had 2 parents. I had a sister. You know, the perfect nuclear family. My sister was 12 years older than me, so not exactly the perfect nuclear family, but well enough. My dad worked in a factory. My mom worked at a bank. So, yeah, she had a job, so I guess it's not perfect nuclear because otherwise she'd be in the kitchen, right? Oh, this is after the feminist movement. That's right. I was born in 84. Hello. Let's bring through to today. I grew up in a pretty diverse upbringing, whether it was through school or friendships or whatever. We had a pretty diverse group of kids growing up, and most of them, there was a mixture of Cambodian, Mexican, some black. The black presence was a little less in my town because my town wasn't a metropolitan area. That's not a fact about the population. But I discovered growing up that when you're growing up white in a suburban neighborhood with suburban friends, you know, some of them have divorced parents, some of them don't. There's a rising number of, how do I say this appropriately, mixed? Is that appropriate?
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Children, like in my age group, I had plenty of friends that were interracial. I don't know the politically correct terms.
There is no political correctness for interracial children. Some people say mixed, some people say half and half. And then if you're really funny, you just say, "Oh, you guys are like puppies." What the hell?
What?
Everybody gets so offended nowadays, so I don't know what to say to not offend somebody. So I guess I'll just. So, anyways, I'm gonna say that my generation. I was born in 1984. Right? That's when the whole world was supposed to end, according to George Orwell, right?
Yeah.
1984, which is perfect because that Pepsi commercial came out and everything. Anyways, my generation, I would say, is the first generation to really. I can't say first. I won't say first. One of the first generations to start fully accepting a lot of things, right? Gay people, interracial couples. We had no idea what color was or what it meant because it was taught to us. The whole Columbus coming over and sacking America basically was taught to us. We didn't realize that as white kids, yeah, we had the advantage because we were part of the group, right? We were growing up with this group of other kids who were mixed or not mixed, but it was pretty diverse. And then you start to see it once you get to high school, once you graduate high school. I have been pulled over. Sorry, let me go back a little bit. When I was 17 years old, I got pulled over approximately 6 times in 1 month. All for the same thing, speeding. All speeding. I lost my license, got suspended for 6 months, had to find rides. In some cases, I didn't drive myself without a license.
Mm-hmm.
And all that time, while I was doing these things with my friends and hanging out and speeding and getting pulled over and being stressed out about having to get another ticket and pay another fine and lose another point on my license and this and that, I was so stressed out as a teenager at 17. Some kids were fearing for their lives. And that's not even a joke. This is literally what happens. I've never been pulled over in my life and had to worry about a cop pulling his gun on me. Ever. That has never happened to me. I've never been in a situation like that. I have been in a hit and run. I wasn't the one doing it, but I had been hit and run. Somebody hit me and then ran. Sorry.
Yeah.
I had been in a car accident that almost killed my passenger. I had sped again, been pulled over 6 times in 1 month, lost my license, that whole deal. And not once did I ever worry that the cop was going to blame me for doing something worth dying for. That is white privilege. I have never had to get pulled over because I was going 5 miles over the speed limit. Saw the red and blue lights in my rearview mirror and went, shit, am I gonna be able to go home and see my family tonight? That has never happened to me. And it most likely never will. And I've had a few friends who've had that experience of being pulled over and they don't know if they're gonna make it home. That's white privilege in a nutshell. There's really not much more I need to say. That's the only example I need to give. But it expands beyond that. Not only does that apply to traffic stops, that's just a traffic stop, routine traffic stop. Well, shit could go wrong. Yeah, but what's the difference between me and the other guy? Because if the only difference is skin color, I think there's an issue. But it expands beyond that. It goes into malls. It goes into shopping centers, anywhere. Walking through a mall, you walk out of a store with a bag. Well, what's in the bag? Nobody's ever asked me what was in the bag. I've never had to worry about walking out of a store with something in my shopping bag because they just assumed that I'd paid for it. How many people out there of color didn't have that? V? You ever walked out of a store with a shopping bag and been eyeballed by a security guard?
Yes.
even though you paid for everything in the bag.
Yeah.
Did you ever get stopped by the security guard?
Yeah.
Did you ever have to worry that maybe this could escalate beyond rational standards?
Oh, absolutely.
I've never experienced that. I've never had to. I've never even thought about it. It's never crossed my mind. That is white privilege. The ability to lack awareness to the dangers of a common thing is white privilege. And I really don't know how to put it any other way. And the younger generations, I fear, are falling further away because their generations are more diverse. They're seeing less of the white privilege because they're more diverse. And so how do I reconcile this? So where my generation was pretty diverse, the younger generations are even more diverse. So they have neighbors that are wealthy or suburbanite Mexican families or Puerto Rican families or black families, and they're in the same class, right? And I'll be honest with you, my family was a middle class family, and there were no black kids in my neighborhood. They were majority white kids. That's changing now. Although the middle class is shrinking and disappearing, there are more minority families moving into that middle class, into that group, into that class. So it's becoming less apparent for these younger generations that white privilege still exists because they think they're all growing up equal because they're growing up next to each other. I didn't grow up next to those. I didn't grow up next to a diverse group. I went to school with a diverse group. Jenny lived next to a diverse group. Yeah, but still, that's why you have a better understanding. Sorry, Jenny is saying she grew up, she was in a majority black neighborhood. She lived in Beloit, which is south of Janesville, and they're a majority black community. And she was one of the minority white kids in the school. So she grew up with a different perspective than I did. But that's what the whole damn thing is about. That's what pisses me off the most about this whole white privilege doesn't exist. No, it's all about perspective. It's all about where you came from.
My brother is also mixed.
It has nothing to do with the amount of money you had or well, it does. You know what? It does, because it's perspective. It's all perspective. It's all depending on where you were raised, how you were raised, and who you were raised with.
And although this is very serious, for some odd reason, and I'm sorry if this is very fucked up, I feel like since Jenny was in a majority black neighborhood, she was mostly eyed as like, girl, you got badonkadunk. I don't know why, but I feel like that's probably what happened at like certain points.
No, this is why, so every once in a while I'll say your Beloit is showing, because when she gets angry, she starts to talk. I can't describe the Beloit speak. It's a mixture between, I would say, Chicago and Wisconsin slang.
Oh shit.
If you can imagine that.
I can.
And it's very noticeable, right? So and they all have it. People from Beloit or South Beloit or even like just anywhere in northern Illinois have this, and every once in a while I'll tell her your Beloit is showing, and she doesn't get mad, but she picks on me back. And it's representative of where she was raised and who she was raised around, you know? Just like when I get mad, I yell. It's my German. I'm fucking German. I'm angry all the time. It's just, I'm not gonna go and try and fry a bunch of Jewish people, but you know.
What a way to put it, but all right.
Hey, it's the elephant. Besides this guy over here, this milk.
Yeah, milk. The cat elephant in the room is like,
He is so big.
Oreos.
He is making biscuits right now.
Biscuits and gravy sound really good right now, actually. I haven't eaten anything, so. My
But
husband does biscuits and gravy, though, so I don't make it.
But you're right, V. She does have a badonkadonk.
That
Oh.
ass.
By the way, so Jenny has a half brother who is black. He's mixed. He's black and white.
Mhm.
Well, he's again. He's interracial. It doesn't fucking matter. He's black and white.
he's
But
a
his-
pup.
But he was raised by his mom, and his mom is black, or grandma, right? Sorry, his grandma. And that side of the family is black, and he had a hard time growing up because he was mixed, because he was part white. He was half white. Jenny actually could tell more of that story because he's a wonderful person. He is so nice. He's so sweet. He always wants, when he comes around, he always wants to hang out with the kids. He's so quiet, but he
Why
had
does that sound like me?
he get bullied by his own family. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he got picked on. Yeah, he got picked on quite a bit. So it's not, I can't even say he got white privilege because he didn't. He got picked on from both sides. You know, and it's just fucking. It's all perspective.
It's all perspective.
It's all where you fucking. It's where you choose to look at it from. And it sucks because trying to explain it to a younger generation who doesn't understand it, who don't get that just because your neighbor is black or Hispanic or Asian and in the same class, even though we're in America and everybody's free and there shouldn't be classes, whatever, blah, 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 in the same class as you, doesn't mean they don't fucking fear for their life if they get pulled over by a white cop. In some cases, other cops. Yeah, there's the most recent one, V. The 2, right? 2 in the past 2 years. One most recently getting shot in their own home by cops.
Yeah.
And then we're supposed to say cops aren't the bad guys. You're supposed to trust them. They're supposed to be your... Cops have the same problem that teachers have at this moment. Would you like me to explain that? There was a pause there.
No, I'm just like, I feel like we've gone down a very dark hole now, and I'm like, how do we save this?
All right, well, let me finish this thought with the teachers and the cops.
Okay.
We had some Brittopia content in here. Oh my God, laugh again.
I didn't know we had never mind. Naked
Ah!
characters. Anyways,
There's nothing wrong with that.
hey, did you know that Disney owns most of the Disney porn?
Oh, I know.
Because their own animators actually created most of the porn.
Yes. It's hilarious.
Anyways, on a lighter note. Anyways, so what was I saying again?
I don't remember.
We went down a dark road and then decided to go towards the Disney light, the Disney porn light.
Well, I'm
I
just
don't
gonna
get
take the
wrong
wheel real
Disney
quick
porn.
and then
It's
just
everything else.
jerk to
Dis-
the right because why don't we go to a lighter topic? Like, this is an important discussion I want to talk about at a later date, but let's talk about a lighter topic, which is the PlayStation 5, everybody.
Which I'm excited for. I've been hearing some exciting things.
So, from what a bunch of news articles have told us, it's going to be backwards compatible for everything from PlayStation 1 to 4.
Oh, I'm banging my head right now.
It's basically going to have twice, if not triple, the space capacity that is the PS4 itself.
That's right, because they're going to a liquid state hard drive, not a solid state hard drive.
And they're trying to make a lot of the more recent releases over the last 2 years for the PlayStation 4's lifespan to be PlayStation 5 titles as well.
And don't forget, remastered.
Oh yeah, remastered as
Okay.
well.
In 4K. Come on.
So
what they
everyone
promised.
is flipping their shit about this, while me and a few of my friends in the voice acting community for the safe work that you can show your family and friends to the darker side that does pornography. I do both now. Everyone's kind of like on the fence about things.
is-
Like,
V, hold on before we get past that. Is your name Black Steel?
no, they call me Lion Daddy, but that's beside the point.
Oh. I thought it would be like Chocolate Thunder or something.
No, I'm not a stripper yet.
Because you're sweet, but shocking.
But still, yeah, we're all a little bit skeptical about a lot of the stuff that they're promising because this seems too good to be true.
All right, well, before we get too heavily into this, let me remind you. When Sony announced the PS3, they had a... Oh, fuck. What was it? It was a computer chip that was more advanced than any government military facility in America had at the time. And they were putting it into a gaming console. And that had a big kibosh put to it right away. But they had made the announcement that that's what they were putting into this machine, and it was going to promise graphics like the PS4. And the game demos that they had showed those graphics. 3 months later, some talks between America and Sony. Like, yeah, we're not ready for that yet. Shelve that shit. And Sony did. And then what we got was a bunch of mediocre games at the launch. And then towards the end of the lifespan of the PS3, God of War 3 came out. Ah, yeah, see? V did the groan. As well as some Uncharted games came out,
Chloe's ass.
which showed the graphics that were promised. The PS3 had graphics comparable to the PS4 at PS4's release. Okay? And that was not using the chip that was forbidden. The chip whose name we shall not speak. Now, the PS4 came out and there was some lackluster fucking hype with that because the graphics were the same as God of War 3 and the Uncharted games and some of the other games that came out. Except for 1884, the first game to launch on PS4.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that title?
Personally, me and Jenny loved it, and the graphics were fucking beautiful. But it got a lot of hate. What can you say? Anyways. So getting to the PS5. Now that it's more than 10 years later
Yeah, a little bit more than 10 years.
from the PS3's launch, it would not surprise me that Sony would say they have these things, considering they promised so big on the PS3. And then at the end of the PS3's life cycle, began to show those things. And then the PS4 comes out, and they do the lackluster thing, right? And then all of a sudden, fucking God of War comes out on the PS4, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I know, I was like, oh my god, Atreus, you actually look like an annoying child.
And the facial expressions, and they show on the PS4 demos the facial capture expressions that they can get. This does not surprise me. And I'm not even thinking that they're overhyping this shit at all. At this point, there are a lot of PC gamers out there and a lot of PC reviewers saying that this isn't possible yet. Dude, Sony had forbidden hardware ready for their PS3. What makes you think it's not possible?
That's a fair point.
I mean, it was so forbidden that the government literally told them, no, you can't put that in there.
You can't put that on television!
Right? So it really doesn't surprise me that Sony is ahead of the game, once again, with something that they're promising big for, but yet again, let's remember, we'll probably have a lackluster showing at start. They do that with all of their consoles except for the PS1 and the PS2. Those are the only two that they really went out there and got it. The PS3, they overhyped it, and then the government was like, we're shutting you down. So they're like, okay, we'll release Crash Bandicoot.
I still love the PS2 to this very day.
Everybody does. Shit, there are PS1 games I still love. And the fact that the PS5 will be backwards compatible for all of those not only trumps what Xbox did with their Xbox One. Oh, we'll make it backwards compatible for 360 games, but not Xbox One games. Those will be available online if you pay for the subscription.
Bitch.
So, it doesn't surprise me that they're over-promising, but it also doesn't surprise me if those over-promises are actually true, and at some point they're just waiting for somebody to tell them, fuck off, you can't put this here. Because if you remember, when the PS3 launched, they had the option to put your own operating software on the PS3.
That's true.
You could literally play Microsoft Windows games on your PS3 because you could install Microsoft Windows on the original PS3. Until Microsoft was like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, why can't we do that? And then Microsoft was like, because it's...
Shut up.
Yeah. Just you shut your mouth and you can't do that. And then they went to court and Sony's like, fuck this. We have better sales. We'll just fucking take it off.
Pretty much.
And to this day, you can still go on eBay and probably find a pre-updated PS3 to which you can upload your own operating software on and run The Sims 2 on your PS3, which does not exist, if anybody knows The Sims, because it's a Microsoft EA game.
Pretty much.
But you could install any operating software. Didn't matter what. Which meant you could run PC games like Half-Life and... Oh, what are some other ones, V?
Portal.
At the time. Portal. Anyway.
Unreal Tournament.
So this really doesn't surprise me that Sony is basically breaking the rules of technology to say that we have something bigger and better. They've done it twice before. It doesn't surprise me. And they'll still come out on top because they're still going to perform. The PS4, fuck. Everybody downhyped this thing. And the launch was terrible. And then look what happened. It blew up. Sales double that of Xboxes. Subscriptions double that of Xboxes.
That it did.
It's a one-way street at this point. It does not.
I concur.
It doesn't surprise me in one bit at all. Britt, you haven't said anything for like 10 minutes. Are you alive?
Yeah, you were talking.
I'm sorry. I have
It's okay.
I have a habit of doing
I just
that.
don't think Britt's a Sony gamer.
I used to, the last PlayStation console I played on was the PlayStation 2, and honestly, I thought the fifth one was out, to be honest.
No,
until
it's
I heard Xbox Scarlet and PS5 were coming, and I was like, what?
So-
No, I'm not buying any of those until they're like $100. Well, really $300, but still.
I need a minute. I'll be right back. But I have something to say about Xbox Scarlet.
Okay. Well, Aaron's gonna take a minute. I just want to get like a small thing on my mind about the PS5, and one, it's weird design of a box with a U on top.
Really?
That's the
Wow.
design. You can literally look it up on Google. That's the concept design so far. It's like a U on top of a box. And for me, I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Wow.
But
Why?
I don't even
Just-
know.
Like, why?
But some other stuff I'm kind of just pondering over is the stuff of the games that are going to be released with it for its launch day. What's going to be the transfer stuff over? Will it be stuff like Persona 5, the Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 15. Like, are all these titles just gonna be part of the launch day along with some brand new test games like they always do with a launch day? Will it not be? What's the real score here? That's what I'm wondering. What do you think, Britt?
I don't know it. I don't know. I feel like PlayStation's probably nicer to their people. While as an Xbox user, I'm married into Xbox, let's say. They're not very nice. Like in all aspects, I swear. When you think about it. Because Xbox One didn't even have backwards compatibility. Then they put it on there, but it sucks. It still sucks. It basically just links to your old ass 360 account, or if you even had one, depending on what email you had. And I only know of this because I have 360 Gears of War games, and it's a pain in the ass to try loading that up. And as much as Xbox wants to make it easier for streamers and video content creators to broadcast their game onto their PC. So let's say you're in, like, I don't know, your PC's in another room and you're recording it. It's a lot easier just having it in front, like the big old TV, like playing in front of the Xbox. Oh, the delay time isn't that bad at all. It's like barely not even a millisecond. But then PlayStation, you get to record right off your freaking console. And that's why you see, like, this is from just an example. I see so many PlayStation Overwatch people instead of Xbox. No one ever broadcasts from Xbox. They don't know how toxic it is either, because PlayStation makes it look really bad, but Xbox is actually pretty chill people. I'm pretty sure all the stoners has Xbox. And
no,
then
it's all the PC creators.
Oh, there we go.
That's
that works too.
That's the biggest difference between PS4 and Xbox.
Yeah.
You can do more with an Xbox if you know how.
Yeah. And so there's some people that are just like straight up idiots with the Xbox too, like I was before I figured out that apparently your PC, if you own an HP or anything that has the Microsoft owned, it's connected. They connect with each other, but it's like they don't tell you that. They don't want you to know that.
Well, it's just like Apple. Any Apple device is interconnected with each other.
Oh yeah, I actually read an article saying that iPhone, when they come out with a new phone, they purposely like defrag their old phones. So you would have to buy the new one.
Yeah, and that's I like Apple for their security, but I also like Apple for their ease of transportability. Like, so when you buy a new phone, all you do is set the other phone next to your old phone, and it just transfers the data like automatically on startup.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But that's the biggest difference with Xbox. Me and Jenny tried to stream on Xbox. We have an Xbox One. We tried to stream with Xbox on Twitch, just like we do on PlayStation. And for whatever reason, it wouldn't connect to the internet, or it wouldn't broadcast because of some stupid licensing agreement, or because of something else. There were so many issues with Xbox and Twitch at the time of the startup that it wasn't worth it. We just stuck with PlayStation. We never had an issue. You know, it's like Sony checks all their boxes before they do something, and Microsoft just kind of goes, let's just fucking throw it out there and see what happens, guys. Just roll the dice. They'll figure it out. We got creators on our side because everybody knows how to put together a computer. No, not everybody knows how to put together a computer. I'm sorry. That's why I bought a PlayStation. Sorry. I had to get that out.
I think I feel your pain, or understand your pain at least.
I'm intelligent. All right. I'm not build a computer intelligent. See, I just put two words together there that didn't even make a word.
I mean,
People don't need to know that.
It's that. What I just did there was a whole mood.
You are a whole mood.
I am a whole mood.
Just go from there.
Oh, shit. Yep, pretty much it.
Good lord.
So much to unpack here.
But,
Tell me, what are your daddy issues? I already know yours.
Like the fact.
I already know yours.
I wasn't friends with the popular kids.
Let's delve deeper into Britt's past.
Oh God.
So,
How much further off the rails can we go?
I don't even know.
Shall we delve into Snowpiercer versus Willy Wonka?
Oh no!
It's a total thing. I even saw the whole documentary video, and I totally believe I'm buying into it.
I'm buying into it too. That's why I'm like,
Nope,
that's kind of
sir.
fucked up.
Snowpiercer is a sequel to Willy Wonka.
Charlie, why are we on a train, Charlie?
Well, and the fact that the initials of the train owner, the owner of the company, are WW. Come on.
You're not wrong.
I'm sorry, Britt.
It's okay.
I know you love it.
Actually, it's not, but no. It's just...
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
I'm sad now.
But, shit, what can we really say about the upcoming generation of video games aside from the PS5 and its weird design of a U on top of a box?
Oh, that's right. I was gonna do the Xbox Scarlet. That's right. Or is it Xbox Scarlet or Microsoft Scarlet? What is it?
It's Xbox Scarlet.
Is it?
Xbox Scott? What the what? Hold on. Well, you guys talk
So-
about that. I'm gonna look it up.
Hold on. So
I'm
Xbox
pretty sure
Scarlet,
it's Scarlet.
It's a code name for their new console that is supposed to be the console killer, right? It's supposed to like overtake the PlayStation and the Nintendo. It's supposed to do all these things. But remind you now, Sony released their PS5 specs and all of that, overhyped, right? We all think they're overhyped because some of this shit just isn't possible. You just can't even do it on PC yet. Just not possible. Sony's like, fuck that, we can do it. So they released this, and then Xbox releases their Scarlet teaser, whatever, and some of the specs. And they're terrible.
Yeah, I'm seeing the specs. It's kind
They're
of
beyond they're beyond terrible as compared to what PlayStation offered. And so everybody kind of laughed. But they kept it secret. So everybody's like, but there's still this mystique. Well, what are they hiding? What's there's got to be more. And Sony's like, no, seriously, we can do this. I'll show you in a video with a demo of the Avengers. This new Avengers games that we're going to release. Here it is.
True.
Here, I'm showing you right now with this video. Look at somebody's playing this game with this graphics and blah, blah, blah. And Xbox is like, yeah, we can not do that. But it's Scarlet. Shh.
We totally won there, bros.
It's secret and nobody knows exactly anything because we're like the last two console releases, we're going to try and bank on the fact that Sony's a bunch of bullshit, but they haven't been. So yeah, Microsoft is overhyping a console that is totally underwhelming at this point.
Jesus Christ.
The Scarlet right now, I think, is on par with the PS4, which is sad because the Xbox One, from what I have seen and what you can do with it, outperforms what they're offering to release on the Scarlet, which is sad. Especially if you get an Xbox One, what is it, Pro? Or is it Pro or Plus? Xbox One.
X1.
Xbox Live.
One.
Xbox One S. Xbox One S. That's what.
Oh, yeah. For
Yep.
those who are watching, don't buy that one, by the way. It shuts off on you randomly and shit.
Wait,
I used
like
to have a white one.
Wait,
That's the one.
so like all
But
Xboxes.
They all are pretty bad.
With the red ring
Well,
of
the original Xbox One isn't too bad. I haven't had a game freeze or turn off on me before. I mean, there's a few times where the Xbox turns on by itself, like ooh, Ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you got the 360, that you had the Ring of Death, that was one of the cons.
You're
and-
absolutely right too.
And
the
then with
original Xbox, our original Xbox still works.
that one, yeah. I think that one was pretty good. My husband had one of those. I didn't grow up with one of those, but it never broke down on him. But he also took really good care of it too. But then the Xbox One S sucks a lot, and it's the one that my brothers got. They got the bundle pack that had the Minecraft in it because my mom is the one who got it. Yeah, that's fun. And my mom ended up trying to like sell it to me for $100, or no, she gave it to me for free actually. And when I tried it out, it turned out that it would just turn off on you after an hour or two because the mainframe, the fan, I don't know, was something overheated inside of it, and that's what caused it to like shut down all the time. Even though they said it had a faster processor than the other, the black Xbox One and all that stuff, it's not better. So back to the original topic, black is better.
So they had this, both consoles actually had this problem. This PlayStation and Xbox. PlayStation 3 had this problem, not PlayStation 4. PlayStation 3 had a problem with overheating. That's why they changed the model of their Slims. And you remember the fat body, the original PlayStation, the shiny plastic cover, and it was a big fat body, oval shaped.
Yeah.
Like 20-pound fucking console. They had issues with overheating, which is what Xbox ran into as well with the three, not only the 360 but the Xbox One. PS4 figured out the problem and solved it for the most part. The issue is, I think, mostly the solid state drive that they have, the SSD that they have, the hard drives. Because even in my PS4, we had to replace 3 hard drives. Two hard drives. I don't know if it's because of overheating. I'm going to assume it is. I'm going to assume that is what the major flaw with the console games is overheating. They don't have proper ventilation. And I'm going to say that a lot of gamers probably don't have proper air filtration in their homes, because if you ever look at your consoles on the vents, they're fucking dusty as hell. And if you don't vacuum that shit out or clean it out properly, it's going to cause overheating, which is going to cause your hard drive to fail. So, yeah, Xbox and Sony both had an issue with that. I think Xbox had a bigger issue with it because their platform itself was just larger overall, and they just didn't have proper ventilation. If you look at a PS3 compared to an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One compared to a PS4, not the Slim, you know what? Actually, I think the Xbox One has comparable ventilation on it, but I still don't think it's enough. Because you're basically stuffing everything that's inside of your PC into a console. And that console is literally a third the size of your computer tower.
Right.
And you're using your TV as a screen. So you have just as much power in that console as you do in your tower for your PC, with just as much, the graphics and everything else, and you don't have the ventilation to cool it. It's just my guess, my theory.
It's a solid theory.
Just put your PlayStation or Xbox in the freezer. Fucking runs great.
I mean, if we're gonna go with that kind of science, I'm gonna buy with it. What the? Oh, that's something stupid that's not related to this. Anyway.
You looked up Scarlet, didn't you?
Well, I did, and it looks ridiculous.
I haven't even seen it, but I did look up the PlayStation 5 that you were talking about. It looks like they kind of went with the design of like retro meets now kind of thing. It almost looks like one of those fancy boxes. I can't think of what the hell it's called. Kind of like a router, but it's not. If that makes sense, I don't know.
If it had a better art design, I wouldn't be as like what. But
well, you remember when the PlayStation 4 was coming out, they had those funky controllers that looked like dildos.
Oh yeah, they did. What was with that?
It looked like a cross between a fucking Nintendo 64 controller and a dildo. You had two. You could have twice the fun. Super fucking long handles. You got this fucking thing. This is basically, all right, minus the touchscreen and the rumble packs. This is basically the PlayStation 1 design controller. And nobody can see this except for V and Britt, because we don't record this shit camera-wise. Anyways, so the PlayStation 4 original controllers looked like a boomerang, and they extended down to like here. Ridiculousness.
Ridiculousness.
Okay, somebody else has got to talk, because I've been doing way too much.
I would, Aaron. You know I would, but from all the stuff from like the last episode that we did to me announcing to the whole world of being like, in case for like this is for like hubs and people that don't know at home. Me and Britt had like this big talk months ago about some certain stuff, and I'm gonna repeat this now again for you guys. What grinds our gears is not being canceled. We're just gonna be putting this thing on like a hiatus because Britt brought up some good points about how we don't have a lot of time as like a big family anymore, like we started out with. Where we have the idea of, was it Coffee Corner, Britt, as like a substitute? Where it just be...
Is that in the... No, this is a new group. Okay, I'll share the picture.
Where it would be me, Hubs, and Britt just having a like relaxing thing. It wouldn't be like a all the time thing, because we all have busy lives. Like Hubs is a full-time electrician, husband and father, doing all this sort of stuff. Britt is a full-time artist, wife, mother. And then we have me, full-time dad, voice actor, director, all this sort of stuff. We have busy lives, and I don't want to be like, we have to do this on a schedule, because then it's not a family thing anymore, it's a business. And I don't want to lose the whole family bond by having it be like a soulless machine. So, Coffee Corner.
I like that.
Yeah.
I can still be like, you know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah, you still can. Just be like, you know what? I'm going to share what I feel like. Okay, grind your gears, bro. Grind your gears
that
on
was
the coffee table.
That's basically what I did in the beginning of this, right? I mean, I went over, fucking talked for 45 minutes, and hey, guess what? You're white. You have privilege. You're born with it. Look, the only way you don't have white privilege is if you were born into the trailer trash neighborhoods. And I say that with, respect. I grew up with a lot of these kids.
Thanks, Aaron. That means a lot.
Sometimes you're born on the wrong side of town,
That
right?
is true.
Sometimes you're born on the wrong. Now I'm speaking to white people. Listen. Sometimes you're born on the wrong side of town, and you grow up in these situations, and you have that fear, and you grow up and you think, holy shit, the cops know me because I have a record, or because my dad has a record, or blah, 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 blah.
Or because
Well,
you stole
guess
Jenny's
what?
feed.
Guess what? Black people are born into that situation every fucking time they're born.
It's
They're just born that way. you can't blame them for being born that way. That's white privilege. Even the white trash. You got white privilege. You can't escape it. Doesn't matter whether or not you were and we went right back to it. God damn it, V. Just stop it. Just stop it right there.
Okay. I'm going to stop it with the promotional song before we lead into the final act. Okay, we're going to stop. Wait, why is there more coffee on the table?
To the side, tearing up down and back. She dropped me in her
Should be drinking more water, lady, please. We got something to feed. You will always be something I will be need.